Let's start with a story, a big one. Imagine a digital treasure chest. Now imagine it holds the private information of not one, not 100, but 3 billion people. That's billion with a B. This wasn't a movie plot, it was the reality of the Yahoo hack. In 2013, hackers quietly slipped into Yahoo's systems. They didn't smash the digital door down with a battering ram. No, this was a stealth operation. They used a clever, targeted attack to gain access, and once inside, they stayed hidden for years. It was the digital equivalent of a ghost walking through walls, completely undetected. The scale of this thing is staggering. The hackers stole names, email addresses, phone numbers, dates of birth, answers to security questions. Think about that for a second. Questions like, what was the name of your first pet? Were now in the hands of criminals. This wasn't just data, it was the building blocks of people's identities. For years, the stolen info was a ticking time bomb, ready for identity theft, fraud, scams, and black market misuse. The full extent wasn't revealed until 2016, years after the initial break-in. Now here's a myth to bust. People picture a lone genius in a dark basement. The reality is more organized. The Yahoo hack was attributed to state-sponsored actors, highly skilled, well-funded teams, backed by government resources. They have objectives, project managers, a budget. They're the special forces of the hacking world, methodically probing weaknesses, not the stereotypical teenage hacker. The fallout was immense. When the truth came out, Yahoo's sale price to Verizon was cut by $350 million. That's the financial impact, but the real cost was the loss of trust for billions of users. This story isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to show the stakes. Even the biggest internet names aren't invincible. The digital world has real-world consequences. Understanding how these things happen is step one toward better defenses. We're going to tear down these methods one by one. Let's bust this myth. So, what are we really talking about when we say a website gets hacked? The term gets thrown around a lot, often conjuring images of screens flashing "access denied" before dramatically changing to "access granted." It's great for Hollywood, but the reality is a little different. In the simplest terms, hacking a website means gaining unauthorized access to it, or its underlying data. It's like someone finding a hidden key to your house, letting themselves in, and then deciding what they want to do. They might just look around, they might steal your stuff, they might change the lock so you can't get back in. There are many flavors of a website hack, each with a different goal. Some hackers are like digital graffiti artists. They deface the website. Others are far more sinister. They might want to steal the crown jewels, the user database filled with names, passwords, credit card numbers. That data is incredibly valuable on the dark web. The simplest way into a fortress is often through the front door. In the digital world, that door is your password, and you would be shocked at how many people leave that door unlocked. The most common method hackers use is called a brute force attack. It's exactly what it sounds like, trying every possible combination. Letters, numbers, symbols. It's like trying every key on a giant key ring. For a short, simple password like dog123, a modern computer can guess it in less than a second. It's not a matter of if it will be cracked, but when. Here's a surprising fact. Studies show that over 80% of all data breaches are caused by weak or stolen passwords. It's the #1 vulnerability. Hackers don't even need to be geniuses. They use automated software that can make billions of guesses per second. To make their job even easier, they often use a dictionary attack. Words, phrases, most frequently used passwords. Lists of the top 10,000 worst passwords are online, and they include gems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 password QWERTY. A real-world example, the 2012 LinkedIn hack. Millions of user passwords were stolen. When security researchers analyzed the leaked data, they found a shocking number of incredibly simple passwords. The most common, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LinkedIn password. It was a goldmine for attackers. Even if the passwords were encrypted, simple ones are easy to unencrypt using these brute force methods. It highlighted a fundamental failure not just in technology, but in human psychology. We are wired to choose things that are easy to remember, which are also, unfortunately, easy to guess. If you can't break the door down, why not just ask for the key? That's the core idea behind phishing and social engineering. This isn't a technical hack, it's a human hack. Phishing involves sending a fraudulent email or message that looks legit. Your bank, a popular online store, your company's IT department. The message creates a sense of urgency or fear. Your account has been compromised. Click here to reset your password immediately. You have a package waiting. Confirm your address and payment details. The goal is to trick you into clicking a malicious link and giving up your credentials. These attacks can be incredibly sophisticated. Hackers will clone a website's login page down to the last pixel. You click the link and land on a page that looks identical to your real banking portal. You enter your username and password without a second thought. But you're not logging into your bank, you're giving credentials to the hacker. They capture your key and access the real site. It's a digital bait and switch. Millions fall for it every year. In fact, phishing is the starting point for over 90% of all cyber attacks. A famous and devastating example of this was the 2016 hack of John Podesta. He received a phishing email that looked like a Google security alert. He forwarded it to a campaign IT aide who thought it was legitimate. Podesta clicked the link and entered credentials on a fake Google page. Hackers got access to a decade of his private emails. This single simple trick had massive political consequences. Social engineering goes beyond email. A classic, hacker calls the help desk pretending to be a high-level executive locked out. Often, the weakest link isn't the software, it's the person using it. Every piece of software, from the operating system on your phone to the code that runs a website, is built by humans. And, well, humans make mistakes. In software, these mistakes are called bugs or vulnerabilities. Think of a website as a complex building, a window that was accidentally left unlocked, a weak spot in the foundation, a hidden ventilation shaft that leads right to the main vault. Hackers spend their time actively searching for these hidden entrances. They're kind of like digital structural engineers, but with bad intentions. When a hacker finds one of these flaws, they can create a special piece of code called an exploit to take advantage of it. It's like building a custom tool designed specifically to pop open that one unlocked window. A particularly dangerous type of vulnerability is called a zero-day vulnerability, discovered by hackers before the developers who made it are even aware. This means there is no patch, no fix, and really, no defense. It's a golden key for hackers, and they can be sold on the dark web for hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. One of the most infamous examples of a vulnerability exploit was the Heartbleed bug, discovered in 2014. It was a flaw in OpenSSL, a fundamental piece of security software used by an estimated 500,000 of the world's websites to encrypt communications. This bug allowed attackers to read the memory of the servers protected by this software. Imagine being able to peek into the server's brain while it was thinking. The information exposed could include anything from passwords and credit card numbers to the secret keys that websites use to prove their identity. It was a catastrophic flaw in the very fabric of internet security. Beyond just finding flaws, some of the most powerful hacks involve tricking a website into running the hacker's own code. One of the most common and destructive methods is called SQL injection, or SQLI. An SQL injection attack happens when a hacker inserts their own SQL code into user input. For example, instead of typing a username, a hacker might type a command. Forget about the password and just log me in as the administrator. If the website doesn't sanitize input, the database will execute the malicious command. After hearing all this, you might be wondering, why are websites so vulnerable? If we can build self-driving cars, send robots to Mars, why can't we build a perfectly secure website? The truth is, building something that is 100% secure is practically impossible. A modern website isn't a single, simple program. It's a Frankenstein's monster of different technologies stitched together. Another huge factor is the constant pressure to innovate, release new features quickly. Security can sometimes take a backseat to functionality and speed to market. Developers are human, under pressure. Missed input validation, outdated libraries, misconfigured servers. Many large organizations still run software and infrastructure built 10 or 20 years ago. Updating is expensive and risky, like changing an airplane engine mid-flight. Security is a chain, only as strong as its weakest link. There is an entire industry dedicated to building better, stronger defenses. It starts with secure coding practices. Sanitize inputs to prevent SQL injection, like a bouncer checking IDs. Keep everything up to date. Use a web application firewall, a WAF. Regular audits, penetration testing, and continuous monitoring. Security is layered, not impenetrable. Use strong, unique passwords with a password manager. And enable two-factor authentication. Become a skeptical clicker. Verify links before you click. With a few habits and the right tools, you can make yourself a much harder target.